The Oklahoma City Thunder, who are trying to get right at the right time and hold on to that top spot, especially because, can you hear them? You hear the San Antonio Spurs?
I was like, what noise is a Spur make?
Yeah, they are coming.
It jingles and jangles.
Yeehaw's on their way to a 10-game winning streak, which they took to Brooklyn. And sorry, Nets, kept the pedal to the metal. First quarter here. Porter Jr. trying to go for the slam, but when Wemby is there, that is just going to be a casualty, Brian.
He backhanded it.
He backhanded him on that block. Jumping to the second here, Wemby kicks it out to Champagnie. By the way, Chiney, he shot 6 of 9 from 3 in this one for 26 points.
I'm telling you, he is like, they have, oh my gosh, elevation. Speak of elevation, they have surrounded Wemby with beautiful collection of diverse talent, and that's why they keep ascending the standings.
Castle's athleticism, I raise you, Vassell to Wemby.
What do you do?
What are you going to do about the play?
You don't do
that.
anything.
Is an unstoppable play.
You run the other way.
Oh my God.
Harper drives to the paint.
Sorry, Nets.
He's been watching Wemby. Finishes with the slam. The Spurs having their way with this one. They get the Nets 126-110. And they finish February undefeated, a perfect 11-0 this month. And Chiney, they're averaging almost 125 points per game. The last team to average 120 points per game and go 10-0 or better in a month, we got to go all the way back to 71-72 when the Lakers, they did it twice that season. And then what do? They went on to win the title. Here's Victor Wembanyama.
How do you try to block out that noise and just continue trying to play the winning basketball that you have?
I think about like odds.
Just the favorites to get out of the West, or one of the favorite teams to get out of the West.
I mean, you're the first one to tell me about it, so block out that noise, I guess. Can you take away his mic?
So Wemby's starting to lean in a little bit, starting to recognize a little bit and say to the world just a bit, yeah, we kind of know where we are.
He's not shy.
But have you learned something that you didn't know about this team before this streak?
Yes, because they've been a number 1 or number 2 defensive team the whole year.
Okay.
But what they've done on this streak, which by the way has been all on the road, this is their rodeo road trip. When they won all those championships with Popovich, the rodeo road trip was, there you go. The rodeo road trip was always where they crystallized. We saw that year after year in the Pop era. So during this 11-game win streak, they're the number 2 offensive team. They got 7 guys in this win streak that are averaging in double figures. All of them, Chiney, are in their 20s. And the oldest one is De'Aaron Fox, who's 28. Champagnie, most of them are under 25. Champagnie last night had a career high. He's 24. So not only are they formidable for the future, I've just come to terms with the fact they're formidable in the present.
Yep.
You said that Wemby says he doesn't need to be pushed. We all see that. We all experience that. What's kind of funny is I learned that personally because for a long time my Instagram bio, yes, my Instagram bio was tougher than Nigerian hair because obviously, but I just changed it for the first time in almost a decade, and it says I beat Victor Wembanyama in 2K. And when I saw him for the first time in a while since we did our commercial, he walked up to me, didn't even say hi, hello. He's always friendly, right? He says, "I'm gonna bust your ass," and I said, "Oh my gosh, like we're taking this seriously." And obviously it was in fun and jest, but that is his mentality when it comes to video games. Can you imagine what his mentality is when it comes to games? And then the second question I said is, how are you doing? He said, it finally feels good to win and to really win. And that's when I knew he does not need motivation. He does not need validation. All he needs are results. And during the time where they're 11-0, he averaged 23-11. He has been leading by example on top of like the 4 blocks. So yeah, he takes everything personally, and it brings out the best in his squad.
And then you look at this, Chiney, he's going to have to take this schedule personally because it's tough, right? Over the next 14 games, they face 5 of the NBA's top 7 teams. By the way, none of what I'm saying right now scares the Spurs or Victor Wembanyama, but their other 2 games in that span are at 76ers, and then they're at home against the Clippers, but it is the second night of a back-to-back. We mentioned going to the Garden up next. Well, Wemby shows up when the lights are bright on Broadway. This is Christmas 2024, the last time he was in the Garden. He had a game-high 42 points, 18 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 assists. It was a 3-point loss to the Knicks, but heck of a stat line there for
Can't forget that.
Today, the West has certainly lived up to its Wild West moniker. The tumbleweed is rolling.
That's about right, sis.
Tumbleweave. The Rockets, the Wolves, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Suns, all in action. Why don't we start in H-Town? Of course.
Should I do the whole thing in a Texan accent?
You can do this one in a Texan accent. Trailing by as many as 19 in the third. Houston went on a massive run here. Giddy up.
Look, these are games that the Houston Rockets would have probably lost.
That's Reed Shepherd.
But that's Reed Shepherd right there who's shepherding them to a victory.
Straight on 3
He's been hot.
Shepherd. And then off the magic.
You're not going to join us
here. The Rockets.
Reed Shepherd.
Reed now transition. Durant finishes
I'm not
plus
a Texan
foul.
like you. I don't want to.
All right, 21-0 run.
You're fine.
Kevin Durant gets to his gets that one to go. He finished with 40 points, by the way. He's the first player in NBA history with a 40-point game for 5 different franchises.
Wow.
It's a 3-point game now. Reed Shepherd.
Hey, listen,
there
pay
we need
attention to
him.
Reed Shepherd. He's heating up.
Houston gets the win. Shepherd, to your point, chipped in 20 off the bench for the Rockets in this one. And then there are the Lakers. All right, it's all tied up. 10 seconds left at 1:10. Grayson Allen gets the switch with Luca Doncic onto him, kicks him back out, swing to Royce O'Neal.
Team basketball.
Gets that one to go. Phoenix takes a 3-point lead with 9/10 of a second left. So last chance for Los Angeles. This is a good play design here.
It's excellent, as good as it gets.
Austin
Great
Reeves
pass.
gets a good look.
Marcus Smart with a great pass.
Despite 41 from Luca, the Lakers lose to the Suns 113-110. So now we have the Wolves and the Clippers. We're going to pick this up with under 2 minutes to play in the fourth. The Wolves up 3. Anthony Edwards takes the jumper, misses it. And take a look at Chris Finch here. Maybe a little frustrated clap that we're seeing on the sidelines.
Pass the ball.
Yeah, with the shot selection. Next Wolves possession, though, Anthony Edwards says, nah, I'm not passing the ball.
I'm good. I put it on my hood. I'm good.
Executed this perfectly. The Wolves up 3. Next Minnesota possession, back to a 1-point game. Anthony Edwards takes on the double team, and he just buries the 3. Here's Ant on the confidence that he had in taking that shot over the double team.
Ben C. Hines put in so much work, dog. It's like, I feel like any shot that I take is a good shot.
So there's a shot, and then there's what happened after it, because you see that Edwards walks right up to Chris Finch and says, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Here's Edwards on that interaction after the game.
Me and my coach got the best relationship ever. So, I mean, he'd be right most of the time. Well, 98% of the time, he'd be right. Like, he told me to pass the ball tonight, and I should have passed it, but I shot it instead. And it went in, so, the basketball guys was on my side tonight.
98%. I do love, though, that afterwards when he was saying, that's what I do, that Chris Finch goes, yeah, all right. Okay. Brian, you were actually at that game. You got to see that interaction in person, up close. What impressed you most? What stood out?
What I got to see was I got there at 4:30 because, to get out to
beat
Inglewood,
the traffic.
you got to get out there early.
Smart man, Mr. Windhorst.
There was one person on the floor. He mentioned how he puts in the work. There's one person on the floor at 4:30 with some coaches. It was Ann Edwards practicing that exact step back in that exact end of the court. And, he just won MVP on that court, 10 days before. You could come on the late bus in L.A., but no, he puts in the work. And, look, before the game, I talked to Chris Finch. He praises Ann Edwards up one side and down the other. He said, this guy could actually be the best two-way player in the league. He respects how hard and how focused he is on the game. And he's not afraid to coach Ann Edwards, which has been the case for years. It's one of the reasons Ant has gotten better. And the Timberwolves are a dangerous team. Here's why. Because while you look at the Rockets, they're great defensively, they're shaky offensively. You look at the Lakers, pretty good offensively, sometimes not so good, but pretty good offensively, shaky defensively. The Timberwolves, even though they have some maddening losses, they are a top 10 offense and a top 10 defensive team. Ant personifies that. And you get into playoffs, those are the teams that make runs, the teams that can do it at both ends of the court.
Yeah, and it's a night where sometimes it's not your night shooting the ball, and he can, we're talking about the Wild Wild West, pull you up by the bootstraps and bring you home to victory. And we joke about that 98% of the time he's right, 2%. That 2% is huge because we're looking for players that can be the future face of the NBA. And this guy, every step of the way from All-Star Game MVP to having that showstop ability, to be able to go back and forth with your coach and say, it's all right, like I trusted myself on the floor, but off the floor I know he's the one that's really in charge.
Yeah.
I love it. But that killer instinct that he has is why everyone, this is everyone's favorite Hooper, because he plays with passion. He treats every game seriously, and it feels like they really want to ascend toward the postseason.
And all of that is making them hit their stride at the right time. They're 5-1 over the last 6 games. But for the Timberwolves, they get the win last night. Their biggest win, though, it may not have been on the floor by the Timberwolves on Thursday. Before we bounce, this is the best story out of Minnesota. A young Timberwolves fan, Luca Wright, remember he gave Anthony Edwards his orange wristband last season when he was battling cancer? He's now cancer-free, according to Luca's mom, Lacey. Here's Aunt Edwards' reaction when he found out.
I was turned up. Slick told me earlier today before the game, so I was like, yeah, that's dope. That's God's gift, man. So let's do it, Luca.
Truly incredible.
And he's worn it every day.
Every day. And he said he'll continue to wear the wristband. It says, love like Luca. Remember at one point he was shooting and it flew off his wrist and snapped, got another one. Anthony Edwards continues to wear that wristband. And now Luca is cancer-free.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful.
So incredible. Go to Philly. That's where the Sixers hosted the Heat. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, they combined for 54 in the win. Chiney, can we say it? Is the Sixers team dangerous?
They're another one of those teams where I say, let me hold my breath a little bit. But the fact that Joel Embiid has come on so strong, Tyrese Maxey always said, like, the best young backcourt in the NBA is in Philly. But as long as they're getting this level of production from Joel Embiid, you can never say never.
Dangerously looming. I know that triggers Heat fans. To Indiana, that's where Con Knippel finished with 28 points on 8 threes. He set a rookie record for threes in a season. Charlotte moves to 17-2 when that starting lineup of Ball, Miller, Bridges, Knippel, and Diabate are together. Brian, can they jump out of the play-in?
They certainly can. You know I'm all in on the Buzz City Killers. So he set the rookie record. We're still in February. I'm not sure if you're aware. I was looking to point out he's shooting 44% on 8 threes a game. How about that?
For that,
welcoming yourself to the league.
Knippel.